In this video, I'm going to show you very quickly how you can access Desmos for Algebra 1. So Desmos that you've been using in the past looks a little different than the Desmos you're going to be using for this class. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to go into your Google Classroom account. And if you click on Classwork, I have the Desmos quick link right here, and you're going to click it. I strongly recommend that you bookmark this page, and you can bookmark this page by pressing the little star, or you can do it in the file commands. If you don't know how to bookmark, please pause this video and come talk to me. So notice this Desmos looks a little different than the Desmos you used last year. We have over here on the left-hand side is where I can do my calculations, and over here on the right-hand side is where I actually get to start graphing stuff. So in this class, you're going to be able to graph things, which is really cool. And the bottom left corner, if you click up that keyboard, you'll see the keyboard. So here are all of your numbers, and here are all your basic operations. So if I want to do 7 plus negative 3, I just typed it in, 7 plus negative 3, I get 4 for my answer. It spits out my answer. If I wanted to come down, you can either hit this X to delete it, or you can just come down and you can just go down and click on the next row if you don't want to delete your answers from what your previous calculations were. If I show you some other things on this keyboard real quick before we practice typing, this button right here is squared. So if I wanted to do 7 squared, I would just push that button. If I wanted to do like to the 5th power, if I wanted to do 3rd to the 5th power, I would hit this A to the B power, and then I can type any exponent that I want. This button is the square root button. This is the absolute value button. Those are the big ones right now. If you hit functions and you go over to miscellaneous, which is MISC, another one that you might have to use is this nth root, which we'll talk about. It's like if I wanted to do a cube root of something, or any type of root. Some of the other stuff in here you'll learn throughout the year. But if we just want to practice, I'm going to make this screen a little smaller, and I want to practice typing stuff in. So let me make this just a little smaller. One moment. Awesome. So I'm going to write on the screen, and I want you to try typing it into Desmos. So just for a little bit of practice. So I want everybody to type in negative 3 plus 8 into Desmos. So you can come over here, and you can X out of all of this stuff. Or you can also, if you reload your screen, it always brings you back to default settings. So I'm going to open up my keyboard, and I'm going to type in negative. A negative and a minus are the same thing. So I'm just going to type in negative 3 plus 8, and I'm going to get my answer, which is 5. Okay. So now, the nice thing about Desmos is Desmos also does order of operations, which is really cool. So when we start doing that in just a few minutes, you'll be able to check your work, which is great. If you don't like typing on the keyboard, you can type it on your actual physical keyboard of your Chromebook. So I could push negative 3, so you notice I'm not clicking anything. Hopefully you hear me typing. I can type all those buttons as well. And throughout the year, I'll show you some fun shortcuts. So I want everybody to type in 5 squared plus 8 minus 3 times 2. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm not going to get rid of everything because that doesn't matter. And I'm going to type 5 squared. So I'm going to type 5 squared. And now I'm going to type plus 8 minus 3 times 2. So everybody should get 27. If you don't get 27, make sure you come and you talk to me. So we're going to do one more. The square root of 25 plus 8 minus 4 squared. So go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to try typing that in first, and then we'll go over it. So I'm going to type in the square root of 25 plus 8. Now I want you right now to notice what happened. See how my plus 8 is still underneath my radical house, my square root house? I don't want that to happen because in the problem that I wrote on the screen, I want 8 to be outside the radical house. So I want to come back over here to Desmos, and I'm going to delete that. And to get out of my radical house, you can either just click out of it, or you can press the right arrow on your keyboard. So now I'm going to do plus 8. See how now it's outside, which is good, minus 4 to the 2nd power. So you should get -3 for your answer. Okay, so that's how you basically just use how you would use the computation calculation side of Desmos. Desmos also graphs, which is really cool, and we'll be using that a lot more this year. But like, you remember ordered pairs that we learned? Remember ordered pairs look like something like this? Notice it plots it right there for me. And if I click this dot, and I hold it down, I can change any of the colors that I want. So fun facts. I can also change the style of it. So just something kind of fun. If I click this drag button, then I can move my point. And notice when I move my point anywhere that I want to move it, it changes the coordinate over here. So obviously, if I was actually trying to type an accurate point, like 4,2, I wouldn't want to be able to drag it. If you don't know how to type that on the keyboard, because that's just what I did, I just hit the parentheses, 4, 2, parentheses, and it just graphed it there. Okay? You're going to also learn how to graph lines and graph what's called the parabola, which looks like U-shapes, and you'll be able to manipulate them. But we're going to learn that throughout the year. You're welcome to take the next couple minutes and play around with it. But when you're finished, I want you to bring your Chromebook and your playlist to me.